This is ANN News Brief.
Good morning. I am Olajumoke Olatunji. President of the African Court on Human and People's Rights, Justice Sylvain Orenye, has said the Pan-African organ based in Arusha has doubled its judicial productivity and is optimistic it will even do better this year. Commenting on the ongoing reforms that the African Union initiated under the guidance of immediate past chairperson, President Paul Kagame of Rwanda, Justice Ohio wanted the court to be a model for internal reforms and an efficiency icon for the rest of the institutions and citizens of the continent. The African Court was established by the African Charter and began operations in 2006 in Addis Ababa. It moved to its permanent seat in Arusha a year later. It has finalized 48 cases with 135 cases pending. And so far, 30 countries have ratified the protocol establishing the court, but only 9 countries, Benin, Burkina Faso, Ivory Coast, the Gambia, Ghana, Malawi, Tunisia, and host Tanzania have made a declaration to allow individuals and NGOs to access the courts directly. Tanzanian government is optimistic that implementation of Steel Glen's George Hydro-elctric power station would produce thousands of jobs. It is also expected to generate more than 2,000 megawatts. Energy Minister Dr. Medard Kenimani told the Parliamentary Committee on Energy and Minerals that 5,000 Tanzanians would be employed as temporary workers and 400 others would be employed on the permanent contract. Kenimani said the implementation of the project would not only uplift the livelihoods of the local villagers in refugee districts in Coastal Region and of Kisaka villages in Mogororo village. It would also enable the supply of electricity to 37 villages in Kibiti and Chalinze. He said 12 villages will be connected to electricity on the Tanzania Rural Energy Agency program. We will return after this message. Stay with us.
This used to be me. But that was before I got the perfect bag. It's handy and easy to use. All I need in one compact space, just like my MTN Extra Value plan. I used to get one plan for my calls and then try to remember which data plan worked for me. Roaming was a totally different ballgame. Not anymore. I've got the MTN Extra Value all-in-one plan. If you're a data buff like me, you get extra data with some talk time. And if you like to make calls, you get extra talk time with some data. And when I'm abroad, I automatically browse, chat, and call right on the same plan. MTN Extra Value was made just for me.
More of data or calls, whichever one you prefer. MTN Extra Value is made just for you.
A push to launch a high-level study of potentially risky technological fixes to curb climate change was abandoned at a UN environmental conference in Nairobi late last week. Countries including the United States had raised objections. Switzerland's environmental ambassador Francis Xavier Perez said that a huge disappointment. His country had proposed the UN assessment with the backing of 11 other governments. Geoengineering technologies are gaining prominence and they aim to pull carbon out of the atmosphere or block some of the sun's warmth to cool the earth. Supporters say these technologies could help fend off some of the worst impact of runaway climate change, including worsening storms and heat waves. Opponents, on the other hand, argue the emerging technologies pose huge potential risk to people and nature and could undermine efforts to reduce greenhouse gas emissions. That is ANN News Brief. Thanks for watching. For details on this and other stories, visit the website annafrica.net. Also join the conversation on Facebook, facebook.com/ANN Africa TV, Instagram and Twitter at ANN Africa TV. I am Olajumoke Olatunji.